numbers. Of course, it's a little hard to see at that level. You might be able to see it better at this level. I don't know, though. Oops, and now I've accidentally clicked outside of it. Oh well. And the music's out, which means it's time for colors in. I think that's a good volume. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think that's a good volume now. Actually, I think I should turn it up a little. I should... Oh, fuck. I don't have... Yeah. The problem with broadcasting your home monitor is if you want to bring something up that you don't want on the stream, it might be a bit fucked. Doom, doom. Right. Well then. I want to commit that. Let's see if that works. Oh, okay. Oh, that's actually a pretty cool screenshot. I'll show you that once I get it on this computer. But until then, let's look at what I actually need to do. So I have main, make height map, enumerate. That should be my own enumeration. Yeah, my own enumeration library. The idea. That's completely pointless to have open. So I think I have everything I need to right now. Come on. Let's bring that down. And... okay, so... oh yes, the bit at the top there is about an idea I had to generate a game based on multiple dimensions within each other. It, I don't think it went anywhere. I don't know. No, it didn't go anywhere, but I don't know what else I might do or not do. So, let's see. I need to make, first of all, okay, so require the make height map, require the inspect. I think before I require those, I should have a global set for, tile size. Tile size equals 15. I should like totally be on like TeamSpeak or something. Let's see what happens. What's the worst that could happen? I think I can turn off my laptop now. It's not doing anything useful. I need to stop accidentally bumping stuff on the table and the mic. Oh well. All the programming that I've done thus far has been stuff that I've picked up on my own, with maybe like one exception. I'm sure there's something I've learned in school. Like, I'm sure I've learned something there. Like, I've probably learned... oh, you know what? I learned how to... there was this one particular problem I was having with rotation, with a 2D system of values, of XY values that I needed to rotate to display a different manner, like to display with this particular rotation. And I had to... I talked with the math professor about how to solve that problem, and he helped me solve that problem. And I think I learned a little bit about Gosh, what is it? There's something that I know there's something I've learned from school, but the majority has been just on my own. Hold on, let me... How many 15s do I have? Those ones don't count. Those ones do count. Those ones do count. Why are these... Oh, okay, yeah, that is definitely what I want to change. Okay, so what I've just done now, except this part I don't want it to be that. What I've just done now is I've set a, oops, I made it set it to itself. That's invalid. I made it so that there's a variable that declares how big the tiles are that are displayed. So that will be used to figure out how many tiles to generate and where to display them. Of course, it doesn't apply to how many to generate yet. That's what I'm going to do now. Let's see. So we have our own custom min function, our own custom max function. Those don't need to be modified. This is an optimization that I really don't need to care about right now, but I did anyhow. Let's see. Here we go. Both of these should be tile size. So 960 is our width, 540 is our height. This is it right now. And okay, if the minimum is below 0, then we up everything so that it starts at 0. Then we normalize the range using this little bit of math to be between 0 and 255, and all the values are integers. And then we actually save the minimum and maximum in the map, which the minimum and maximum should be, well, the minimum is always going to be 0. The maximum is going to be 254, maybe 253, or 255. And really the maximum depends on, actually I think it's impossible for it to be 253, but it can be 254. Let's see, and I've set it to 15, which is what it was already at, so you wouldn't even see the difference when I go over to it. Where is it? Screenshots. Oh yes, I can show you this screenshot, which I saved this one in the repository because it looks cool. Earl Grey tea, hot. It's very nice. Okay, so now it's generating things pretty much the same way as before, except now it's using a variable to decide how many things to generate and how big to display them. So now, rather than having to do everything I just did, I can go right here and be like, now everything's 20. And there you go, now everything's based on 20s. I forget if 30 will fit in here nicely or not. Excuse me. 30 might break everything. No, 30 fits too. Awesome. I love this resolution. I'm running this in a resolution of 960 by 540, which is a 16 by 9 resolution that is divisible by 5, 10, 15, 20. I don't think it's divisible by 25. No, it's I don't think so. Maybe. And 30. And a couple other like useful basically it's a really nice resolution I found for working with, at least for like default values, because it allows you to divide by a lot of things and it fits. Yeah, 25 doesn't work, but 5, 10, 15, 20, and 30 all work. And it's nice to have this kind of just, I know it'll work, you know? Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give the character a Z value, which is gonna start at 0. Excuse me. Let's see. Okay, we make the height map, we inspect it. I don't really need that, at least not right now. And then I make a new font. That's debug code. I really should just have a, I suppose I should just have... No, I'm gonna turn it to false right now. I'm just gonna make things a little pretty, well, not prettier, but I don't know, just, I think this would be easier to work with. If debug, then print, and also set the font. End. Okay, this is Lua, by the way. If you've never seen Lua code, this is Lua code. Let's see, cloud. Oh yeah, so interesting. Yeah, I have several different functions here for how I render things. These these ones are out of date. Like, well, cloud will still work, but basic dynamic will produce strange results. But basically, where is it? Right here, where it says dynamic 2. If I change that to say cloud, and then I run it again, you'll see now everything's generated in straight up black and white, like it's just grayscale. And the reason it looks mostly white is because... Interesting. Oh yeah, because I haven't fixed all the code yet. Remember how I said there's a debug code in there? This would be the debug code right here. If debug, then... Okay. So that way... There you go. Now that gets rid of those things telling us all that info. It looks like there's a lot more white than there really is. Plus it's just accounted for with the other stuff. Let me change that back to dynamic 2. And now it's back to normal, except without the debug text. You know, I have... Here's the thing, I'm fairly new and not so good at this myself, so like, I'd love to make a tutorial. I would not be the person to make a tutorial though. I mean, I suppose I can make like a very basic getting started thing. Literally, the best I could tell you right now though, excuse me, is basically I just go over this code. Like, okay, so this file here, this is a library. Someone else made this. This is not mine. It's a height map generator created by Mark Lepage, and it's released under the MIT license, which means it's completely free to use as long as you just say, hey, I'm using this. This other guy made it. And it creates basically you tell it a width and a height, and then you can optionally customize it with this special, with its own custom function here. This, what's it called? Yes. It's kind of hard to explain. This height function, which basically varies how it modifies value. It's, god damn it. How do I explain it? You know, just, if you want an explanation, just look up the diamond square algorithm, because that's what this is based on. To put it basically, the diamond square algorithm takes a series of squares and diamonds, square and diamond shapes of your map, and then modifies the values by a random amount. And so you get this very smooth, gradual, like, you know, you get this. You get where instead of it being completely random noise, you get like a gradual, like the white at the top, and then it goes to blue. Of course, this is my own coloring, but as you go from the highest value to the lowest value, you start at white, and then you go into this blue, and it gets a little darker, then you go into bright green, to dark green, to bright, this bright, but not nearly as bright as like this ice, brighter blue down to darker blue, and that's the height varying, and it generates these very nice looking maps. And this function just modifies how it does that, so you could tell it to be a bit more random, or to not care about depth or something. And of course, if you do certain things, it'll really screw stuff up. Like if I make it not care about depth anymore, then you get chaos, utter chaos, because the depth part is the whole reason it generates smooth terrain. See, because the moment I take that out, it's just ruined. It's horrible. And then, but I could do something like this, where I like say divide it by 2, so now we should get choppier terrain. Maybe not choppier terrain, maybe that's the opposite, maybe it's smoother terrain. I'm not actually sure. Let's try it divided by 20. Oh, see, that's definitely choppier. Look at that. There's a lot more like extra bits, I think. It definitely looks choppier to me. I could be wrong, but it definitely looks choppier to me. Let's try divided by 200. That's gonna get weird, or look fairly the same. See, the thing is, I can't 100% like tell you exactly what this is going to do when I modify it. And the reason I can't 100% tell you what it's going to do is because my own code takes this and modifies it further in a way that kind of can eliminate some of the changes you make here. So yeah, it just basically goes through this whole series to make a map. But see, here's mine. Here's where mine takes it. Mine takes, it starts here. This is the part that you actually, excuse me, this is the part that you actually care about. Those other functions up here, this stuff is just utility code to make it work. So make height map. So you say create a map of the width divided by tile size and height divided by tile size. Then it checks if the minimum is below 0 and adds the minimum value in so that, well, subtracts the minimum value, but you're subtracting a negative, so it's like adding. You add the minimum in so that it starts at 0. Then you take it and multiply it by 255, divide it by maximum, the maximum value, whatever that maximum value is, and that gives you a value between 0 and 255, and then floor simply means take it and cut off the decimal point. Like if it's 5.8, then it's 5. If it's 5.1, it's 5. If it's 43.926a blah blah blah, it's 43. I think I said 43. Basically, it just cuts it off. It's not rounding, it's just cutting off the part past the decimal point. And then it saves the new minimum and maximum, so which the minimum should always be 0 because this part basically guarantees that it's 0. The maximum can be 254 depending on the decimals and everything, but it can also be 255, so I think it's kind of important to save it, even though I may not ever actually use that value. I kind of keep it around just in case. And then really the main part of this that's important is just this bit here, which is where it draws it on the screen, and we just loop through the map. And then this function is what sets the color. So basically you tell it the value at that point in the map, and it just goes, basically it says water is below this point, the green is below this point, and the ice is below this point. And so it takes C, whatever you passed in. If it's less than water, then it does this formula to set RGB. So basically it only cares about the blue value, and it does 40 plus C times 2. Which gives you a nice range of blues. And then same thing here, except it's changing just the green. The ice does something a little bit different because it's modifying both the red and the green. And then this last level is like just plain white, which is just plain white. And that sets the color, and then this actually draws it. Excuse me again. I always have a bit of a cough problem, it's annoying. So we take the value that we're at times the tile size. So if it's the 5th tile over, then and they're 10 pixel tiles, then you need to go 50 pixels over. This minus is because else this is Lua. Lua starts at 1 instead of 0, like most programming languages. So if I didn't subtract the tile size there, then everything would be drawn a certain number of pixels to the right and below where it should be. This is the same thing except on the y-axis, and then this is telling you how big to make it, because this is just a rectangle. It's like there's nothing there. Later on, I'm planning on replacing it with some sort of image or something. You know, for like multiple terrain types or whatever. Like right now, I literally just have a height map, and a way to display the height map. There's no like anything else really. Oh, hey, this commented out code is what I was actually about to work on. Cool. Alright, what's this? Oh yeah, that's just showing wherever your character is, which is just an orange square for right now. And this is what allows me to move the character around. And there's just a little thing here just so that I can very quickly hit escape to exit if I just wanted to. Hit escape, then I can. Did I? Oh, I modified this and then never unmodified it. No, this shouldn't be changed at all, actually. Hold up. Yeah, it's not modified at all. For some reason this is glitching. There you go, now it says it's not modified. I was like, why is it saying it's modified? And then this right here, if the mouse button is pressed, if it's the left mouse button, it makes a new one. So that, you know, I can just be like, oh, let me test a million different maps right now. Okay, so I added a z value character, but that doesn't do anything right now. So now what I'm going to do here, well, first of all, I should make the z value start at 1. And then I'll say z times 10. So if character dot z times 10 is, let's see, 10, 10, 10, 10, that would be the maximum. So if it's less than that, if hmap I j is less than the z value, then we're actually going to display it. I'm actually going to go ahead and get rid of that. Now the problem is that the problem with this is that now we're just displaying everything in a very narrow range. Oops. And in fact, this should show us only the very darkest depths of the map, and everything else is just black, which is not good, not ideal. Now let's see. If it's less than rz times 10, and hmap I j is more than excuse me, character.z times 10 minus 10. So basically what this is saying is that we take our value, multiply it times 10 to get like where we're at. So like a 1 would actually be a 10. And then we check if the range is at that value or lower, but only up to 10 below what that value is. And it'll display things there. Now the other thing I need to do is I need to make it so that when we move, and furthermore when it actually spawns in, but right now when we move, it needs to check where the character's at, like on the z-axis, and change where they're at. So I'm actually going to make a new little function down here. And this is, by the way, this is badly organized code. It's badly organized. I'll make it better later, but for now I'm just kind of making things work. I'm trying to adopt the philosophy of make it work, then make it pretty, you know? Because there was this article I read recently. Let me see if I can find it real fast. I saved the stuff. Oh, it was right there. Well, that's going to take a while to open, but I saved a document with a list of tips given by this one guy who's a game developer. Let me make that bigger. And I've been trying to follow these because I forget who it was that said these, but it was like kind of these strange tips that a lot of people, like programmers, are saying this is stuff you should do, like, so kind of obvious. Eat well, sleep a lot, stay hydrated, take a 15-minute break every hour. That's one I need to do. Listen to upbeat music. Don't work more than 8 hours a day, because then you're going to fry your brain, basically. Stop and think about it. Don't just do it. Get good at writing documentation. Basically, the way that you got to approach documentation is if there's any shred of a chance of confusion, then you need to explain it. Take a lot of notes, write down your ideas, know when to take a shortcut. Basically, this is the part I was just saying. Write messy first, clean up later, and the important part, but always clean up. And know when to clean up code. When it becomes difficult, or you can see that it will become difficult soon to keep working on it, that's when you need to clean it up. Get good at debugging, because you will spend all of your time debugging, and learn to predict bugs before they occur, because again, you will spend all of your time debugging. So, anyhow, right now I'm making a function called adjustZ, which I'm going to pass it the character, and I'm going to say, what am I going to look for? I'm going to say c.z, so the character.z will equal the hmap c.x c.y. So basically what this is saying so far is set the z value to whatever value the hmap is, but that's not good enough. We need to divide it by 10, since we're using 10 we're using 10 blocks at a time as one z level. And then that's still not good enough because now we want it to be an integer, so floor it. And I believe that should be simple enough, but I'm not sure. And of course this is where I could either spend the time to I could either think about it for a minute, which is probably the better idea, honestly, or I could just experiment. And right now, I'm a little bit tired, don't really want to think about it. I'm just gonna try it. Oops. Yeah, okay, so floor is actually part of the math library. It's not its own thing. So I kind of forgot that. There you go. So now it's adjusting our z value based on where we are. The problem is, you'll notice that every time I take a step, I'm not really on anything. And I think that's because I've done something wrong. And that's where I need to take this value here and probably add 1 to it. Not sure, but oh, see how now I'm on these blocks? Cool, huh? Now there's still a, oh, that one doesn't show up, but I'm able to walk on it without it adjusting things. Interesting. So this is where it would be useful to have the debug code turned back on so I can see values on the screen. The problem with this now, though, is that my debug code my debug code assumes that black text will be able to be seen, and it won't unless, you know, I'm on that particular spot or whatever. It's a 192, that's 188. Hold on, I need to find a spot where it's... Oh, there's one. So there's a bit of code there that I can't see. This is where a console would be useful, but I don't have a console. So I should add one. That is interesting. Yeah, there's definitely some sort of bugginess here that I don't know what's causing it, really. I'll have to add some code in to check that, which is annoying because I don't want to have to. And I'm actually going to take this function, this adjust z function, and it actually needs to be applied when the character is after the height map is created. So let's see. Okay, cool. And I'm going to modify it to say, here we go. This is the code that we're checking for. And this is the code that's adjusting it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it print to the debug console. What's it called? Alright. What do I need to have it print? I need to have it print the new z value. Oh, what? I wanted this to be capitalized. Yeah. Okay, the new character z value. But then I also want to print out c.z times 10. So that's the upper limit. And I need to print the lower limit as well. I'm actually going to print the lower limit first, which is c.z times 10 minus 10. So now, when I run it, it'll error. Because I tried to call a function before I created it. Yeah, Lua will only... It's like C and C++ in that way, that you have to declare a function before you use it. Else it'll be like, I don't know what the hell this thing is! Even if you're calling it later than when it's actually... There we go. Okay. So... Oh, it's above all that stuff. So our new character, our z right now, is 12. And that means anything between 110 and 120 will show up. Or actually, more specifically, anything above 110 and anything under 120. I've just realized what the error is. just with that first message. And it's not actually because of the message, it's because of something else. So our condition is if it's less than this and above this. So we're cutting out every 10, like 10 can't be seen, 20 can't be seen, 30, 40, 50. None of those can be seen because we check between less than or above. So I need to decide that one of these is less than or equal and or greater than or equal. And I need to decide which one. I think I'll make it the less than or equal. So, now, whoops, if I close that, open it up again, we should stop seeing that problem. Oh, nope, it's still there. What value is that? 110. Interesting. Thought I'd fix that just then, but apparently not. Oh, yep, I just generated a new map by clicking on it. Whoopsie daisy. Oh, there's a 150. See, when I'm here... Okay, so now the code has to do with it not being changed at certain values, I think. When it should be. See, because all of these 150s are at the 16th level, which is between 150 and 160, when they should be at the other value? No. Okay, see. Now we're on level 15, which is 140 to 150. The moment we go on to the 150, it's wrong. Yeah, debugging. What did I say? You're gonna spend a lot of time debugging. Gotta think about what I'm doing wrong here. Now the render code's fine. Maybe it's the way we're setting the value? No, because that was fixed too. I'm gonna try just setting this to greater than or equal to. I'm being kind of lazy. Which is not necessarily a bad thing, but yeah, that 160 is still... No, it's... Yeah, everything... I'll just have to go around a bit and see if I mess anything up. Because it looks like... I think I've just about solved it. Oh, except now there's a certain level where you'll jump down a level even though you're seeing something. Maybe if I just make it so that it's only greater than. Change that back to less than. Oh, what? That's interesting. That is an interesting little quirk of how it's decided to generate this time around. Of course, it looks a lot crazier and not realistic like this, doesn't it? Than it did before. Let's see if we can find a mountaintop. There is no mountaintop. Maybe there is. Maybe it's very small. I should have a way to toggle this kind of rendering on and off. So I'll make a little thing called see all. I'll make it part of character, because why not? See all equals false. Okay. if blah blah character dot c all, or not sure if that's the right way to do it or not. Okay, that looks fine. Let's go set c all to true. Try running it like that. Yeah, now we can see everything. Okay. Cool. Now I just need a way to toggle it. Which I'll come down here and I'll say, what button should I have that on? Or what click should I have that on, perhaps? I'm just gonna, for now, make it a right click. Then character.c all equals not character.c all. So now it'll toggle whenever I right click, it'll toggle. I don't know if you heard my phone just go off, but if you did, yeah, it did. What's the thing I'm looking for? Oh yeah, okay, so I've made it so that it'll do this bit correctly. Oh, but you know what? That bit should be before it even decides the color, because there's no point in deciding a color that you're not going to draw. And then now I need to adjust how it draws colors to some degree. Let's see. I'm gonna make this an else if character dot c. No, that doesn't need to be checked. Character if hmap ij is less than character dot z times 20 and hmap ij greater than or equal to character dot z times 10. Oh wait, not times 20. If it's less than, okay, this is based on if it's less than our value or greater than plus 10 our value. This is based on if it's less than, this needs to be minus 20, I believe. And this needs to be minus 10. Not sure if I'm doing the math right there. Lua is used, I know it's used in game development as a scripting language in various things. I'm trying to think of some off the top of my head. The one that sticks immediately to mind, funnily enough, is actually a Minecraft clone called Minetest. But that's not particularly a good example because it's not particularly a good game. Although it has potential. Let's see, I think WoW uses Lua scripting. I know there's this one game that was really cool and extensive and text-based that used Lua. I know there's a game called, oh fuck, what's it called? There's a game that I played recently that was entirely Lua-based, and then this, by the way, is running on the Love 2D engine, which is an engine for Lua games. I know, see, here's the thing, like, I've heard that it's used a lot, and I've seen a few prominent examples. I've also forgotten most of the names of what the prominent examples were, which is, you know, convenient. See, it's not typically used to make a full game, but it's been used a bit to make, like, scripts for games. Although I don't know, like, what its market share is. Like, it's not super, like, it's, I don't think it's common per se, but it's not like rare either. I think it's just uncommon, you know? I don't know, I'm bad at this. Let's see, so this is m less than c minus 2 or m greater than equal to c minus 1. I'm writing it in kind of a simplified version of what it actually means here to try and figure out if I'm doing this right. If it's less than or greater than minus 1, that doesn't even make sense. Also, that should have been and, not or. It's less than our value. Let's see, times 10. If it's less than our value and above our value minus 1, that makes sense. If it's less than our value minus 1, that should be a minus 1 and that should be a minus 2, I think. Yeah, because if it's greater than minus 2 but it's less than minus 1. There we go. I did it backwards. And this is where I'm going to adjust color darker? Yeah, because it's going to be below us. So now I gotta go look up a reference real fast on the Lua. Because I don't remember, or not Lua, but Love 2D. Because I think I can just do get color. Yeah, I can. This is going to be terrible what I'm about to do, because I know I'm not doing this properly. The primary language that games have been written in is actually C++ and C. However, that's kind of changing, I think, to be actually, well, it was C and C++ for a long time, but I think it's already probably more common to see games developed in C#. And if it's not already more common, then it's definitely heading that way, because a lot of things have used C# or using C#, and a prominent example would be Unity. Unity uses C#. Of course, you can write other languages in Unity, but its primary language is C#, and it compiles with C#. Let's see. So, local RGB equals love.graphics dot get color, and then I'm gonna say love.graphics dot set color. Maybe, what's the term I'm looking for? Alpha. I need to make it, let's try 0.6. No, I'll make it 0.75. Ha. This fill should happen. This fill, I'm copying code into multiple places. That's a bad thing. It's also not working. So I've done something horribly wrong. Oh wait. It uses 0 to 255 for its alpha, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. Okay, or maybe it does, but I don't remember. Crap. Let me look it up real fast. Set color. You want to see what I'm doing there? I'm looking at this. Yeah, they do use a 0 to 255 alpha. Yeah, alpha is optional, defaults 255. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so that definitely should show up. Why is it not? Oh wait, maybe... No, it can't be that I'm too low. Yeah, it's definitely not working. It's kind of annoying. Oh, there's no, like, super high point. At least not there. Maybe it's over here. This is funny, because you can, like, explore without being able to see the whole map at once. Of course, I could just be like, bam, I can see everything. Oh, there's the top right there. And now it's a new map. Oops, wrong button. There we go. Wow. A whole shit ton of zeros. That actually makes sense though, actually. I see what I've done wrong. Because it's only assigning the color if we have... Damn. More code duplication. That's not good. I need to stop that. Oh yeah, but now we're definitely having darker things. But not dark enough. Not dark enough. Let's try something like 150. Oops. 150. Yeah, see, so now we have on the lower values, you can see them before you get to them. That is awesome. I'm liking the way that looks. Let's make it even darker though. Let's make it 125. Alright, and then now I'm going to do the brighter part. Control C, Control V, except now this one needs to be, if it's less than C, if it's less than C plus 1 and greater than or equal to C, that's what it needs to be. It's greater than or equal to C exactly, and this has got to be plus 1. And then now we're not adjusting color. Darker, brighter! And we're going to draw it with the same low opacity, but see the difference is that here we set the color to 255, 255, 255, and we fill it in, and then set it to that, and then fill it in, and this should make it a lot brighter, except it's I actually need to be more opaque there. I mean, more opaque? Yeah, more opaque. So there you go. Now it's drawing things insanely brighter. I think that's still too bright. No, it's not. Not really. Like, it makes... The whole point of me doing this right now is I wanted to make it very obvious what's below you and what's above you. You know? But I still want to keep the subtle varieties in the color. It's actually pretty hard to see those subtle